Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Goldblooded podcast, episode 27. Back with another roundup of the week. And it was a good week, honestly. Throughout all the games, honestly, it was a pretty solid outing if do say so myself, you know what I'm saying? But welcome back. It's your boy KB, gifted Denver, you know what I'm saying? Back with another week of gold-blooded potting Warriors talk along with the other stuff that's been going around the NBA. But before we get into anything, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new here, make sure to turn on post notifications to be notified when we next upload as well. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into the games today, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the pod, as some would say, I gotta ask my guys, man, how are we doing? How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? Gifted Denver, talk to me, man. How are we doing?
Honestly, feeling good, man. It's funny to see how this fan base will react to basketball games being won or lost. One day you lose to Denver with no one playing. It's like, oh my god, this team is so fake. I didn't really believe in this team. Blah, blah, blah. And then we beat the Bucks without Steph. Oh my god, championships, belt to ass. I'm just excited to see us playing relevant
Yeah, but
basketball.
Kaminga still sucks though. That
Yeah,
hasn't
that too.
changed.
Yeah, we got to talk about that community discourse. Our fan base is very strange. I'm not gonna lie. Like, for me, I'll say it. I'll admit it. I'm not a person who's always right, even though I'm right like 80% of the time. But when I am wrong, I do admit it. You know what I mean? One thing I was not really, yeah, one thing I was kind of wrong about, or I guess hopeful for, and just ended up being wrong was B Pods. I know that was somebody I stood on and was like, I'm standing. I was doing the blind love type of thing, and even for me, like I called out like, hey, B Pods is probably going to be someone who's going to get a lot of slack for not being able to develop into an all-star in the second year. And even for me, I was complaining, but what I was complaining about was the bare minimum. That's what I was complaining about. Anyways, though, Denver, man, talk to me. How are you doing, man? How's your week been? You know what I'm saying? Anything
Uh,
special?
good. My week's pretty good. My week's pretty good. If you have not seen my IG post today, today is March 20th, which means that it is now 5 years since I uploaded my first commentary video. So
Mm,
yeah, so 5 year anniversary. So I'd say I'm doing pretty good.
5 year vet of English. Wow. 5 year vet. Going on 5 years, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Um, for me, nothing really much has been happening. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty calm week. It's the end of the semester, so finals is coming up. Assignments are due. Stress is high. Only 10 days left for Ramadan, which is kind of crazy. And the next time you probably gonna see me, Ramadan's either gonna end or we're already done by then. So it's actually kind of crazy. 4 weeks have been going by pretty quickly, but a little shameless self plug. I finally broke my streak of not uploading on YouTube for like a year and for like a year and a month plus like an additional 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Last time I uploaded, I think it was a day after the trade deadline or the day before. No, it was the day after for sure. Talking about the trade deadline, but I broke my silence, man. Talking about the Warriors and how they're back. So if you want, you can check that out. KB's Nose Ball on YouTube. I will not be putting the link in the description. I'll be putting gold blooded stuff, but go ahead and check that out. But without further ado, man, like I said, let's talk about some of these games, man. And the first game of the week, we had the Sacramento Kings, man, in which, again, it was an absolute slaughter. 104 to 130. We absolutely manhandled them. And honestly, before I even ask y'all, like, what did y'all think of the game? Things like that. I just want to go ahead and say it. Fuck Sacramento, like genuinely, from the bottom of
Damn.
my heart. And
Just like that?
the reason why I say this is because we all know this is the game where Steph hit 4K3. Shout out to Steph,
Oh yeah, for
shooter of
that.
all
Word.
time. But them niggas decided to go ahead and say, we're not going to be the team to let Steph get to 4K. Even though he got to it, they wanted to full court press 94 feet. They wanted to double on every single ball screen and just took the fun out of the game and still got blown out. Mind you, it would be one thing if it was like double Steph, double Steph, double Steph, and you won the game. I would have been like, okay, fair. Steph got to 4K. We couldn't get the win. Bro, you were never in the game. You made like a comeback to cut it to like 8, I think, at the lowest. And then that was pretty much it. That was literally it. You just got torched 1 through 4. And they just left with, well, at least Steph only hit 2 threes. He hit 4K and you lost. The objective was just like, the objective wasn't really there. But guys, talk to me about this game, man. What stood out to you? Obviously, we're gonna speak about Steph his 4K and what that means. But what is this game and like what in this game kind of stood out to y'all the most?
I would say for me, just the level of attention Sacramento has been on with Steph in a lot of these matches where they're just saying, you know what, we'll let literally anyone else touch the ball, score, get a rhythm. But you, Steph, we're blitzing you at half, all this and all that. Like they were so desperate to make sure Steph Curry didn't score that they were finally getting blown out by almost 20 plus points. They were okay with that. They played defense to where we don't care about winning. Our main goal is making sure you do not score. But to me, that shows the impact of having a player like that, which again, I will emphasize, I'm not on the side that says Steph can't have a bad game because of his impact. But in games like these, you see the latent ability of what Steph can do to an entire defense. And we saw that all throughout this game. A lot of good contributions from many other players on this team. We had a lot of people just scoring in bunches. And I love seeing comfortable wins. We blew out the Kings last time. Blow them out again, back-to-back blowouts. We love those. So love to see that at least.
Yeah, I'd say my main takeaway is I feel like the same thing that, well, I guess the first Kings game with Jimmy Butler was the like actual ability to punish them for trapping Steph so much is because we didn't have that in the previous game that we've played them, the one without Jimmy Butler, and you saw just how difficult it was for us to get any sort of offense going. This game, it was more so, I'd say, the defense. If you look at, guys like Malik Monk, we were able to shut, guys like him down. Zach LaVine, while he didn't really perform bad offensively, the Kings minus 34 is crazy.
Insane, bro.
And
he was bad. Yeah. A lot of his poor scoring came in like low leverage minutes where it just didn't really mean anything. So he wasn't really that effective. Again, the Kings were no Sabonis, so they didn't really have a chance to begin with. But again, loser ass franchise, loser fan base, a bunch of losers in Sacramento. And if anyone's got a problem with that, you can't do anything because you lost.
R.I.P. Man, R.I.P. the Kings Warriors rivalry, man. March 2023 to April 2023. Rest in peace.
No, can I say something, bro? I'm not even gonna lie. That was even never a rivalry for real. Like, that's the one thing that NBA needs to stop doing is that to try to push these rivalries that aren't rivalries. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool, it was a little fun 7-game series, After that, there's no more rivalry. The Kings were back to being bad.
Like Memphis was more of a rival. Like Memphis was more of a rivalry than Sacramento.
No, Memphis was more of a rivalry. I will say that. But the Kings was like, all right, you're begging.
Like those dudes actually hated us.
Yeah, it was a problem with those dudes.
But the Kings didn't really hate us for real. Like the only thing I'll see is like the Draymond Sabonis stuff was pretty funny.
It wasn't hate. It was just like always super competitive and like high octane games.
De'Aaron Fox is signed to Under Armour. Like he's signed to Steph Curry's brand, literally the Curry brand. He's the first athlete to have a shoe under his brand. Like there's no beef. Like there's like animosity needs to be between the two at least teams. There was no animosity. Mike Brown was the animosity there. Like Mike Brown was the ex-coach of not ex-coach, assistant coach of the Warriors. He's friends with Steve. I guarantee you in the summer, if he doesn't land a job, he'll probably be on our coaching roster. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna be honest. Now you tell me if that's a rivalry. NBA, Adam Silver. You tell me, because to me that's not a rivalry. I'm not gonna lie. That's just nowhere near it.
Are we gonna show our box score?
Nah, I am about to. Because that's one thing I do.
I just wanted to show this real quick, just so we get a picture of the type of defense that the Kings were playing.
94. Aimbot defense, bro.
Bro, that defense was like, it's actually one of those defenses that's just like, all right, bro, like you're down 25. Why are you even picking up the intensity? Like at this point? And it's just like, you're doing the most, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But we'll talk about the Warriors and how they played offensively in this game. Like I said, we absolutely torched them. I think we hit 20 plus threes in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we hit 22 out of 39 threes, man.
Yeah, you put two on Steph. There's gonna be openings.
There will be. And Quinton Post, Moses Moody, them guys were laying it up. Moses had 17.
Everybody that hit a three in this game hit multiple threes.
Yeah,
it's crazy. There's not a
Draymond hit 4 threes.
That, you know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys have the screenshot, but the right corner for this game in particular,
right after the right corner.
I think you can in that corner.
Here,
like genuinely,
I think you can check it on here.
Yeah, you can check it on there.
Yeah, because it's on ESPN. You might need to go to here. Hold on, I'll just pull it up.
You can pull it up. Yeah, I don't know where to
Yeah,
go specifically, but
yeah, yeah.
I could go check the real app right now. I know that right corner, like in the first half, there was the right corner three. GP2 hit multiple corner threes, I think.
Multiple, bro.
Like multiple corner threes. Where is GP2 right now? GP2 was 3 of 4 on threes, and he was just spanking them. Buddy Hield was 4 of 6.
Guy Sandals didn't miss a three.
Like, this was insane, man. You
Yep.
know what's crazy? I
That
think
is right
Steph
there.
might have been the worst volume shooter today, or that day in particular. That's hilarious, too.
Look at all them threes.
Look at that right corner. Just makes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threes in this right corner alone.
It's like, bro, we were generating some really good looks in that game. And honestly, that's
Not
what
even counting all the
that's what the
attempts.
Sacramento Kings get. I'm not gonna lie. When you want to trap Steph, be boring and annoying, this is the type of stuff you're gonna have to deal with. And honestly, I'm happy. And I'm happy that you're continuing to lose. And I'm happy that your franchise is in the absolute gutter. Genuinely, you have a hater over here in Golden State. I will say that, like, I don't like your ball club, period, at all. I don't care what y'all got going on.
Interesting.
I don't care about Zach LaVine. I don't care about DeMar DeRozan. I don't care about Domantas Sabonis. I don't care about any of that. That club is horrible, and it will continue to be such and mediocre for eternity. But we'll move on to an
I don't even know
actual.
where all that hate came from.
It came from within, bro. That's where it came from. It came from the fact that they took away a potential like 8-9-3 game from Steph, like just to lose. You know how annoying that is. Like,
Well, yeah.
like
Yeah,
I don't want to
that's
stay on the
about
second.
20.
that's the Nick Nurse shit
Like, I don't want to
that he
stay on the
used to
second
do
for
back
too
in the
long.
day.
But at least if you're gonna put 2 on the ball when it comes to Steph, at least try to be in the game. Don't be losing by 26.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
were down bad early.
you don't do that and then lose by 26 on it. Like, bro, like what is that, bro? What is that?
It's a gimmick. Yeah.
Nah,
On to the Knicks, though.
they annoy me. I'll be so real, bro. They actually annoy me. We'll move on to an actual better franchise, a franchise that actually has some meaning in the NBA, and it's not just there for filler and money. The New York Knicks. You know what I'm saying? This was an absolute slugfest. I'm not gonna lie. This game in particular, wow. This game in particular was, it was bad. For context, 94-97. I'll give a little bit of context before we break down what happened in this game. Steph turned 37, I think the day before this game, I believe. And I'm not gonna lie to you, him turning 37 and the scoreboard have a lot in common, like genuinely. And the reason why it does is because Steph, Jimmy, I think
And
Draymond,
Draymond.
also Quentin, I believe as well. I think a lot of the Warriors, like players, were there. They were just getting lit.
But specifically the last three in Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, they said that they stayed late drinking different wines from Steph's house, and they were up pretty much all night. And it's funny because there was a point in this game, KB, where Steph got cut in his eye, and they zoomed in, and the cut. I'm not even tripping about the cut.
Was the bag.
The bags under his eyes were so crazy, bro.
He did not sleep. Like, I'm not even
did
trolling.
not sleep.
The brother did not sleep at all. And I'm just like, bro, why did you even show up today? And it's not even like he played all right. Like, he didn't play as bad as I thought he played. But it was like, what's the point of showing up?
One thing I will say, it would look crazy if he had that party and then sat out this game.
It would look crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, it would look crazy because that literally means that you were not ready to play this game at all. But to be honest with you, shout out to the Warriors. There's a lot more context in this game too. Draymond, obviously, his beef with Cat. Cat showed up and showed out. Respect to Cat. Honestly, like, I have nothing to say to you. I have all but good words because you stood there, you listened to Draymond say the ridiculous comments he said, and you hooped. You had 30. You played ridiculous, bro. So shout out to you. Shout out to the Knicks.
That bench scoring is insane.
0-2, 0-2.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of 0-2s, bro. This is actually insane. Wait, do they have 2 made bench field goals?
Yeah.
They went 2 for 12.
Wow, the bench actually didn't do any. Damn, they were horrible without Cat.
Yeah,
all starters.
And the 2 bench
Josh
field
went
goals
0 for 7.
were
The funny part is
from
they were losing
Landry
the cameras.
Shamet and Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, them niggas did not. Campaign legit got on the floor and didn't do anything. Damn, I ain't gonna lie. That's tough. That's super tough. I know our bench did outscore. Our bench had to have outscored them, right? Yeah, we did. We outscored them by.
Yeah, Quentin Post outscored him by himself. Well, I feel like this is another one of those games that I wouldn't say is a test, but like you need to be able to win these types of like slugfest games to like actually have a a chance in terms of or like have hope for competing, I would think. Um we've had a couple of them in the post Jimmy Butler trade era and
Mm.
other one. We shot 32% from 3. We shot 40% from the field overall. If you would have told me in I don't know, like November that we had a game shooting like that, do we win that game?
Nah, I don't generally believe that we probably put up like 97, but I don't
Yeah.
think the opposing team would put up like 110 at least. Like
Yeah.
that's the bare minimum. So like I definitely hear you. Again, Gifted has always said it, and I'll say it for him. Out the mud hoops are the best hoops.
Out the
Those are
mud,
his
man.
those are his words again, not mine. I don't believe that out the mud hoops are the best hoops. That's just very bad for the sport. But I think it's good for the Warriors in terms of how can you win this game knowing that shots aren't falling? What are some other ways you can affect the game to
Hmm.
be as effective as possible? And I think the Warriors did a good job with that. This the timing of your scoring as well as what's important. Like you don't have to be a team that puts up 140 every night. Like even in the games tonight where you didn't shoot the ball well, you only put up 97 points of regulation. Can you get buckets when you actually need to? Can you execute your offense when you actually have to? And I think the Warriors did a good enough job to do that as well. And I think defensively, again, they've been on a string. Like Quinton Post, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, even B Pods as well. Shout out to him. GP2 as well since the All Star break. Like everyone has been on a string defensively. And I think when the Warriors, again, are just at their best defensively, that's when they're the most scariest. Like in my opinion. Like you don't really see that often with the Warriors as of late, but when you see it now, especially given the timing for the playoff push, it's a really, really telling sign. But Gifted, what did you think of this game though, man?
Okay, so again, I love in the mud hoops because to me, when you're trying to go to the playoffs and do special things in playoff basketball, every possession matters. Teams prepare for your game plan a lot, so you're gonna have nights where you can't make shots, things look very, very ugly. But at the end of the day, can you leave the night with a win? And let me tell you, this game was the definition of trench baby hoops. Steph got his shots going late in the second half, but did not have a great start to the game. Clearly looked tired, clearly looked compromised. I love the Kevin Knox 0 minute, you know, category. Steve was really trying to employ a lot of different things in this game. There were obvious emotions about the Draymond and Cat stuff, and Cat really was taking it to the Warriors very early in this game. But this Warriors team showed some grit, showed some overall determination, and was able to fight and claw themselves back into the game. But it was a very nasty offensive process for the Warriors in many different spots. Shots were not falling. But this is where we got to say, shout out to Moses Moody, the player that went from having the hashtag stay ready label on him for a very long time. The player that's been disrespected so routinely by this franchise, the player that was offered for Lauri Markkinen as the only player in the deal. It is now at a point where he's being embraced and actually playing heavy minutes to where now I'm pretty sure he's like some crazy stat all time where like he has the highest win percentage, or like
As a starter, yeah.
yeah, we're winning a lot of games with him. And in this game, he really built us out many times. 18 points, 4 threes made by himself alone. Steph made 4. Steph and him combined for the majority of threes on the roster, right? So, I mean, I saw some really good things for them. Obviously, want to try to fit Kuminga back in there better. I will say this, and we'll get to this into a further game, but this Kevon Looney stuff with Kuminga, with Draymond or Jimmy, gotta stop it. Can't see more of that. It's not great, but shout out to Moses, man. He showed up tremendously in
Yeah,
this
I was
game
just
for
about to
us.
say that. Yeah, Moses Moody is 19-2 as a starter with the
Yeah.
Warriors, which is actually crazy because like I just want to talk about Moody for a quick second. Like I just feel it's not a surprise to me. I've been
And
saying
these
this
are
since a rookie. Like he's someone that's just immediate impact off the bench. Even if, as a starter, he's been that impactful already, right? I just think when you play in a system where you need guys who are able to defend, he does that. You need guys who be able to shoot the ball, he does that. You need a guy to be able to attack the closeout and make a play on the ball, he does that. you even need some level of movement shooting. He does that. Like, he has been doing everything for the Warriors, ticking every box, and I just feel like it's about damn time. Like, I was saying it in my video earlier today, like, Jordan Poole, Brandon Pajemski, Jonathan Kuminga, I feel like all of these guys were getting a lot of runtime to be able to develop, to be able to make mistakes, to be able to just become better players, and I feel like Moses Moody was just stuck in the mud, as Gifted would say, like, just not being able to actually develop as a player. That's why each summer he came back with like a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then now you're seeing what he worked on previously to be as effective as he is now. You know what I mean? So shout out to Moses Moody, man. Honestly, I really do appreciate what he does for the Warriors. And he's just an anomaly of a player to have. And especially given his contract and given how much he could get better,
Still,
I really do believe he could be a very good role player for this league. Like, I'm
He
not gonna say he's gonna be an all-star or anything like that, but given his role and what we expect out of him, I think he'll flourish like tremendously for us, and even in the future post Steph era. So shout out to Moses Moody, absolute hooper, man. And I actually wanted to show you guys one thing before we move on, just real quick. Let me just show y'all this great play. This is the most memorable play from the Knicks game. Hopefully, I want it to stick with y'all as well. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just enjoy this little highlight real quick.
Yeah, one thing I was gonna say is that he's definitely becoming one of the like main what would be the word? Like main candidates for being the point of attack defender, which has been conversations surrounding this team ever since we traded away Andrew Wiggins. Moses Moody has really picked up his POA defense in after that trade, and even then, even before, he was just really solid with his like hands on ball strips and things like that.
Bro, it's you know what's crazy? Like I was gonna say Jalen Brunson. Gifted was talking about how Gifted was talking about how Moses Moody and his defense against Jalen Brunson, right? And how he matches up with him really well. Um, and to me, like that's just another sign. Like obviously, like, do I expect him to be able to contain or guard the Shays of the world? No, like
Yeah,
you're not. No one on this planet, in my opinion, can be
yeah.
able to guard a caliber of that player, given his scoring process, what he's doing this season. But are you going to be able to be a POA to at least just cause some level of difficulty amongst other guards in the league as well? And I think Moses Moody could actually do that. He has the size, he has the arm length for it, the foot quickness, I believe. I don't think he's as slow as some people believe, honestly. Like with defense, reaction timing, and understanding defenses and becoming better at it, I genuinely believe like it's just more of a rep thing. Like the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Like obviously you can see for like an eye for talent given the athleticism. Like somebody like Amen Thompson, like we know he's going to be an elite defender, and we can tell by due to like his intangibles, right? But like he already has like a good feel of how to be a good defender, how to screen up. I think Moses Moody is just someone who needs that time to be able to develop. Now, I'm not saying he's going to become Amen Thompson. I just want to make that clear. He's not going to become Amen Thompson, but I genuinely believe he can be a very good defender in this league. So again, shout out to Moses of the Moodington, you know what I'm saying, as Flight would say. And we need you, big dog. We genuinely need you, honestly. And you've been a tremendous POA, a tremendous 3-and-D guy for us. And we hopefully can keep you healthy and win some rings with you, man. You know what I'm saying? But I will let's talk about this game because this is
Locking Cade up this game. My goodness.
yeah, he did a tremendous job. I watched this game back. I wasn't here. Again, if you're wondering where we watch these games, mid plug,
Oh my god.
playback.tv/goldblooded, man. You know what I'm saying? Playback.tv/goldblooded. But let's talk about the other game, man. Our only loss of the week, which is still crazy because like, you got to be grateful. Like you're still winning 3-1, we're still doing well, but the one loss was the most just like disrespectful, like didn't show up to work, you weren't properly dressed, you didn't listen, you didn't clock in.
Shirt was on backwards.
Like literally every single code of conduct just not like being followed at all. Um and honestly, I'm very, very upset that we lost that game. And the game in particular that I'm talking about is against the Denver Nuggets. Now, I remember saying we're gonna go 4-0, we're gonna win every game. Obviously, I was one game wrong. We lost to the Nuggets, and you probably think to yourself, "Well, Jokic probably just played really well. You know, the size is still an issue for us. Jamal Murray's probably like just eating off of the Jokic gravity and Jokic's elite playmaking stuff like that." No, the person who actually gave us the absolute treble of hell, the person who actually destroyed us in its entirety, were two people actually: Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook. Now, you might be asking, well, did Nikola Jokic play well? He didn't play. Jamal Murray didn't play neither. We lost to the Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic-less Denver Nuggets. And honestly, I'm disappointed. I'll be honest with you. Like 114 to 105, it was just it was a shit show. Like from everyone. Especially Steph. I just thought it was really, really bad in terms of offensively, no execution. Defensively, the game plan was horrible. But I'll let you guys talk about the game, man. What did you guys think about the game? What stood out to you? What are some things you don't want to see? You know what I mean? Like what did talk to me, man?
To see Steph ever drink wine again. Shit, bro. I still think from a couple days ago, this was weighing on his body because the way he was playing basketball was so preschool. The amount of bad passes, turnovers, bad shots, he was just awful. And I'm not gonna lie, they should have rested him in this game. Once I heard that Jokic and Jamal weren't playing, I said, rest Steph Curry. Rest him. They didn't do it, which makes this loss even more of a bad loss. Westbrook had 11 assists in the first half. Aaron Gordon had 38. For those of you at home that don't notice that, I noticed that because I've been following this team. Every time we lose, an opposing player has 38 plus. Aaron Gordon is the lowest with 38.
Oh, in the Jimmy Butler.
In the Jimmy Butler era is what I mean to say. Yeah. So very bad loss. Very
Pretty funny. The fact that when we do lose, it literally has to mean someone has to have bad body experience for us to which is, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's actually
this pass. Oh my god.
Yeah, this pass is ridiculous. The one-handed one, right?
Like he just instantly threw it one hand. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Throw a pass like that before. I've been watching
that was bad.
For 13 years.
When have y'all ever seen him throw an underhanded pass? Bro?
You go, GP. Like what is this? What is that, bro?
I'm not gonna lie though. Even during the game, I actually felt like you know what actually pissed me off. We made a comeback. Like Jimmy Butler, shout out to you. We made a comeback. You were right. Like you were
so good in the third quarter for us, KD.
And in the start of the fourth quarter, that lineup was causing so much trouble, and we made a comeback. And then Steph comes into the game and he immediately starts throwing turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Like immediately. Like this was.
Oh, it was this.
Was this the lob pass? Look at this.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like he's not even close to the basket, dude. What are you doing? And then the worst part is Steve Kerr came out, and I love Steve Kerr for this because he always defends Steph. He said, you know, when Steph just has a lot going on mentally, it just affects him on the court too. So I think it's just better for him to like sit down. Like, you know, mental fatigue is a real thing. And I'm just like, bro, he was just hammered 48 hours ago, bro. It's not even like he's still obviously not over it. Played really, really bad. But nah, Steph, I ain't gonna lie. That was I'm gonna be honest, we lost that game because of him. Like Aaron Gordon had 38 points. Russell Westbrook, I believe, had 18 assists or something like that, 17 assists.
16.
Westbrook had we got absolutely torched by them, man. Honestly, yeah, like right here, you can see it right here. Michael Porter Jr. had 21 points. He was 3 of 10 on threes, but I swear to you, it did not feel like it at all. Like every three that he hit felt like it was a backbreaker. Another person who genuinely just made me angry when I watched them. Where is he at? Conchar, him. Like the 1 3 he made.
It felt like 1,000 points, man.
It felt like 1,000 points, but that's what I always say. Like timely baskets can really just like it can change everything, bro. Like honestly, and I was just very, very upset. I don't even want to show the Warriors box score. Shout out to Jimmy, like I said.
Now I will say this: Steph annoyed me the most in this game for sure, but for Steve Kerr to only play Quentin Post 8 minutes,
especially in a game where we struggled to create shots or we were just struggling in general with 3-point shooting.
Yeah. And then the worst part is like you plug in, and I hate making fun of Kevon Looney because I feel like he's just easy to pick on. Like you plug in Kevon Looney and nothing changed. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, literally nothing changed.
We were running like Gifted said earlier, man. JK had JK had a howler this game. I'm not gonna lie.
He did.
But at the same time, there was a lineup where it was Kuminga, GP2, Looney, and I think Jimmy Butler. So
that's like a horrible lineup, bro. By the way.
so like, what exactly is JK supposed to do with that lineup?
I don't even
But
know.
obviously, you know, he just made some boneheaded plays here and there. But that's also, I feel like, a
It
factor.
was essentially the whole game. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was pretty
Yeah,
bad for him,
yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
honest. That was definitely Kuminga's one of his worst games of the season.
yeah.
I'm trying to see Jimmy Butler, Kevon Looney, Jonathan. Okay, there we go. Sorry, just give me a sec here. I'm trying to pull up and see if there's okay. You know what's crazy? This lineup that they play. So Jimmy Butler, Kevon Looney, Jonathan Kuminga, Gary Payton II. I want you to guess. It's 6 minute sample size, so very, very small. Very, very small. What do you think their net rating is?
Minus 32.
Gifted?
Give me minus 43, man.
I ain't gonna lie. Denver is closer. It's a minus 30. They have they have an offensive rating of 107, a defensive rating 137. So literally, this lineup does not do anything but just cause stress, headaches, migraines, like mental distress. Like you name it. You name any single type of like symptom that it could cause you, it will probably cause that. You know what I mean? Like that lineup is horrible. Don't ever run that lineup ever again. A combination of all like Steve Kerr thought, oh, we could just stop them if we play every single athlete plus Kevon Looney. No, you couldn't stop them and you couldn't score. So like again, Steve Kerr, don't ever run that lineup again. I beg, please, bro. Like that was one of the worst games. This is the worst Warriors loss of the season. And we had a stretch where we looked like the Charlotte Hornets. Literally. Like, you know how crazy that is? We had a stretch where we looked like the Charlotte Hornets, and we had a loss this bad in the Jimmy trade. This three right here. Oh my God, bro. Like, you don't understand. A part of me was gone that night when he hit that three. Like, a piece of me left. I'm going to be so real. That three, man, bro, that three, oh, man, that three was, I don't want to think about that. Let's move on to the new game, man. Let's move on to the next game, bro. The next game was a good bounce back game for the Warriors. We ended up playing the Bucks without Steph Curry, and we actually manhandled them, man, 93 to 104. I do want to talk about a few things in this game that stood out to me a lot. One, Jimmy Butler. You know, I don't know why I'm the only person giving a round of applause, but it's cool. Jimmy. All right. Okay.
Cinema.
What do you have? Say it again. What do you have?
Bro, he had 28 points. He had a 28 point. He didn't have a triple double. He had a double double, I believe.
Golf clap.
He was sensational in this game. Honestly, 24 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? 5 turnovers.
Man, say my favorite stat, man. Say my favorite stat, KB.
11 for 11 from the free throw.
Yeah. We used to have games where the team as a whole shot 11 free throws.
It made 4 of them. It's crazy.
Yeah, it made 4 of them.
You know what's crazy? All 4 makes would be Steph. The rest of the team 0 for 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really how it would work. That's really, really how it worked. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Jimmy. Definitely player of the game. Not my player of the game, but the player of the game. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with Dame? Like, nah, seriously. Like, before we even talk about the Warriors, what is wrong with Dame? Like,
you ready to have this conversation? Because I can name a couple things. I
honestly think our game plan for him the last couple of games has been really solid. Because like we were hard trapping him in the game in Milwaukee, and we forced him into 10 turnovers, and we were hard trapping him again here, and shot 6 of 18.
We had some opportunities where we played drop on him, and he didn't. Like, he had a few moments where he got to the line, which is pretty cool. But like,
there was one three that was like,
there was one. I think he had a sidestep 3 that was pretty impressive. But I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, he didn't really move the needle. Like, he hasn't really moved the needle in Milwaukee, period. Him and Giannis, that's something like off topic real quick that I genuinely got wrong. I wholeheartedly thought if Giannis can just set a good screen, I swear to you, this duo is about to be crazy.
And I want to say I was early with my hate. I saw them join forces,
Now you can't say
and
you were right about hate because that's hate.
no, I don't care. I was right because I remember. I remember like it was yesterday. We was in that Twitter space with Low, and it was all like, "Damn Giannis," and I kept saying like, "They're not beating the Celtics. Shut up," because what I'm gonna keep watching is, oh, Dame Giannis pick and roll. Dame Giannis pick and roll. Dame Giannis pick and roll. Uh, what about their other like lack of real POA? Dame Giannis pick and roll. Who do you trust to really shoot the ball? Dame Giannis pick and roll. And now we're seeing, oh shit, it's not Giannis pick and roll. It's Dame Brook Lopez pick and roll.
Mm. That's because Giannis isn't really a good screen setter. But again, we're not here to talk about
Oh,
Milwaukee.
it's almost like I knew that.
No, I knew that well as well too. But who would have thought Giannis wouldn't learn how to become a good like you know what I mean? Like, nah, that's just see that's hate. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, a nigga like me thought like, yo, you at least gonna learn how to like roll to the basket, right? Like, be a big
All I'm
man.
gonna say Giannis is trust me, on this team, you ain't gotta set screens. Steph Curry set screen for you. How about that? I knew that was a big miss.
Nah, that shit was it. Fuck. But I do want to talk about a particular player real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Dwayne Green. Dwayne, man. Dwayne, my guy. That's my goal. I ain't gonna lie. Dwayne, Draymond? Bro, come on, man. He's been wow. The thing that he did to Giannis the other day against Milwaukee.
Domination.
I'm speechless. I have no words. Holding him to 0-5 shooting in like 1v1 coverage, but like legitimately just locked him up for most of the game. Like, he did an excellent job. Like, look at this. Good defense here. I'm assuming he's going to go to the next play here. Pick and roll coverage. He plays drop. He stunts, shows at Giannis. Good contest. Another block, bro. Like, look at who do you know at the age of 35 years old that is guarding Brook Lopez? Like, look at this defense, bro. Look at this defense. This is crazy. This is legitimately insane, bro. And I never seen someone really make like such a late put. Like, I don't really think it's a late push. I think he's been elite defensively all year, but he's making a serious push for that not MVP, sorry, for the defensive player of the year. And I genuinely believe he could actually win it. Like, all his defensive stats are really, really high. I think he like leads those like categories. And again, defense for me is not something that you look at like defensive rating individually or like the box plus minus defensively. Like, I don't really look at those things. You just have to really like see the play and how it really affects the team. Mind you, the Warriors have been a top 7 defense all year, like even with the fact that when we were playing really, really bad basketball. And for him to be able to sustain the things that he is sustaining at with like some lineup discrepancies, like not having a POA for a certain time, the lack of Quinton Post, the arrival of that, he has just been like essential to our defense and the life of our defense. And you can see it in the box score, you can see it on the advanced analytics, and you can just see it in the game as well. Like, the
Oh my
block,
god, this play, I love this play so much
like,
because Jimmy's helping on the Brook Lopez spin. So Draymond comes over, he cuts off both entry passes here, so Brook Lopez can't make this pass.
and gets the board too, bro. Like, mind you, he's been rather healthy the whole season as well.
Yeah,
Like, the whole season, he's been really, really healthy too. So
he
honestly,
he only needs to play 10 more games to qualify,
he's gonna play them.
and we have 13 games left.
He's gonna play them, honestly. And I really do. I'm not gonna lie. I know
If
Evan
he
Mobley,
hits 65 games, we're gonna have some very serious conversations here.
and he hasn't. Do y'all really think Evan Mobley has had a better defensive season than him?
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Mm-hmm.
I
However,
honestly believe Draymond has like a legit argument to win the award. I don't see why he can't.
I don't think so. I think what Evan Mobley has done all season long from the very beginning is a big part of why the Cavs are where they are, independent of their offensive game. But I think Draymond's argument is going to really come down to his overall, not just his reputation, but how this team has looked revitalized with him having another good defensive player with Butler here. And I think down the stretch, if he's able to continue to play at a high level, that's going to directly lead to us winning more games. We can legit finish the season as the top 4 seed if we keep winning at this rate.
Yeah, and I agree.
my
I'm saying in terms of Evan Mobley and his defense, one, the Warriors have a better defense than Cleveland at the moment. I think the Cavs are like 9, and the Warriors are 7, I believe. I could be wrong. You guys can fact check me. 7 has a lot to do with Draymond Green. Like I said, a lot to do with him. He's clearly our best defender. And again, for me, I don't want to say age is factored in because that does sound like a bias kind of thing. But at the same time, it's also like he's 35 doing this,
He's
which is
37.
like he's that is really, really insane, right? And then on top of that, I think him being the shot blocker that he is this year, I just didn't really expect him being the disruptor that he is this year. Again, you expect it, but not to the level of degree that you're what like we're seeing right now. And then this game in particular, Giannis was having like for majority of the season like a very quiet MVP case. Like if it wasn't for Shea's historic guard season and Giannis, Jokic's historic season as well, we'd be talking about Giannis a lot more in terms of
Yeah.
his MVP case because statistically he's been putting up like insane numbers and playing at a very high level. He single-handedly shut down Giannis and their entire offense by like I
Man,
don't want
look,
to say by himself.
this entire play is just okay. So trap the pick and roll, force the ball out, or actually they didn't force the ball. Jimmy stay in the middle of the zone, force the ball out of Giannis's hands. Good rotations overall.
Like that's just I'm not gonna lie. Like the plays to me, the reason why I have him as my decoy, like if or I don't want to say have him yet because I still have to give it some thought. I'm not gonna lie. I can't really decide between the two because I genuinely believe like there's no one else in the league that can really replicate the type of defense that he plays in terms of like being everywhere the way he is sometimes. Like
He's
I
he
feel
is
like
six
I
foot
know y'all
six.
troll me when it comes to like, oh, KB, you don't watch like a certain amount of teams play because you don't like watching them. But like I honestly do like in my free time, I get to really sit down and watch and analyze these teams. Like Evan Mobley, elite defender. Again, Jared Allen, also his pairing. That back line is elite, right? Somebody say probably the best defensive front court in the league, right? Draymond is doing basically two people's jobs sometimes in like crunch time gameplay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is disrupting lanes, then blocking shots, rebounding the ball. He is also disrupting the screens that are going away from the ball. Like, he is literally doing like when someone says he like the trademark quarterback of defense, gifted, he does all of that, like to an elite level almost, bro. Like that's why to me it's just so shocking because defensively for his age, you don't see players hit these highs. You know what I mean? Like usually it's a 7-year mark for when it comes to like a player like Draymond for defensively being able to stay at the level that he is at. But we're talking about what do I want to say now? Pretty much 10 years of
Yeah,
Draymond at a defensive level like this. And to me, that's a very underrated longevity defensively. Like you don't see
I
that
think
level of defense being played defensively like that for in quite some time. I'm gonna be so real. So like, shout out to Draymond, man. Honestly, like, I know you do a lot of weird CTE things on the court. I mean, off the court, but on the court, you are one of the best defenders I have ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, now I've watched Tim Duncan, so I can't say you're the best defender I saw in my entire life. But like, probably a top 3 defender I've ever saw in my life, the best defender of this generation. Like, you are truly sensational, bro. The
I
things you do
think
on that end of the floor are insane.
I think the thing that we're not talking about enough because we're so focused on the age, which is also insane. Draymond Green is 6'6". Like that's
Okay, he might be 6'5", apparently. He might be 6'5". According to the new NBA height rules and stuff, he's 6'5" doing this, bro, at the 5, Denver. You know how crazy that is? Bro, there's niggas who are 6'5" that I see, like, just working regular corporate jobs. This nigga is stopping Giannis by himself, bro. Like, you don't like, you don't see shit like this, bro. Like, this is actually insane. Like, you just do not see things like this on your day-to-day. Like, Draymond is a ridiculous defender, bro. Like, a ridiculous defender. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yo, why can't he actually win the depoy? Like, it's not like this award isn't like what it's not even it's not a case like it's not case shut. Like, I don't think Evan Mobley necessarily has like a clearer case to me for him to win the defensive player of the year, in my opinion. Like, Draymond has been ridiculous this year, bro. And I've been saying it since we've been playing good basketball to start the year. When we looked like the Washington Wizards for 2 months, and even when the way we're looking like now, the one remaining consistent factor for this team was its defense, and that stayed the same majority of the season. And the reason why is because of Draymond Green. So Draymond, man, shout out to you, bro. Like, wow, I ain't gonna lie. That was a crazy, crazy defensive game I saw from Draymond Green, man. But Jimmy, I think Jimmy did his thing offensively. The free throws gifted. Talk to me, man. Like, I know you love them free throws, man. That and 1-3, that and 1-2. Nah, it was ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous, bro.
His level of grift, man. Like we have not had a player on his team that we can throw the ball to and say, go get a bucket, go make a play. But more importantly, go draw a foul. We don't have anything going, put a break on the game, get guys a minute to like decompress and get back to it. Like that really matters in a basketball game.
I think that's like one of the biggest factors that is so underrated about having him is that before we would just rely on, okay, let's try to just start hitting our shots now. But now,
please make the shot.
But now we have Jimmy Butler. We're not hitting shots. He can just drive in, draw some contact that may or may not be a foul, but it's Jimmy Butler, so it's probably a foul. And he's getting his offense going that way.
You know, I just love
we have not had a player like that ever in the Steph era.
I just love the fact that we get the benefit of the doubt now. Like, it's just, it's a beautiful thing. Like, knowing that I can sit here and watch Jimmy Butler draw a foul, and it's not even like teams don't even question it. Like with Steph, it's like Steph will get a foul, niggas will look left and right and say, "Hell no, we're challenging that." You know what I mean? Jimmy gets a foul, it's like, Jimmy got a foul. Like that's cool. Like even like the elbow graze foul was crazy. The one that he got the free throws at the end of the quarter.
Yo,
this game has the potential to be very disgusting down the stretch.
So chat. Hang on, chat. So not only are we seeing a grift off, but one person's making a free throw on the other end of it.
Yeah, Dame was missing free throws too.
Yeah,
Dame was well, bro.
It was
a howler for sure for Dame.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look. I knew I saw a foul covered, I swear. I knew a foul was coming, bro. Man.
Oh man, shout out to Jimmy, bro. Again, if you're not watching the live watchers with us, you missing out.
Gotta tap in.
Playback.tv/Goldblooded, man. But nah, that was a great win, honestly, all around. Shout out to Pajemski as well. He played well. And I think it was just a great team effort. Again, Quentin and Jimmy finding like that 2-man between the two has been beautiful to watch, honestly. Like Jimmy's been finding him all the seams and Quentin's been hitting all his shots. I can't wait for him to develop that in-between game and like get that little push shot. Like when we have a 7-footer have that Isaiah Hartenstein type, I'm not saying it's the same, but that Isaiah Hartenstein level of type of floater, whew, it's gonna be scary, bro. It's gonna be scary. But that's gonna wrap up the games for the week, man. We gotta talk about the games that are ahead. I know we played Toronto tonight. We are recording this before the actual game in of itself. But we'll talk about some of the games that we have going into this next week. Like I said, we have Toronto today. I expect to win. I believe you guys do too, right? Like GP2 is out for that game, by the way, just to let y'all know. GP2. But we do have the Toronto Raptors, the Atlanta Hawks, the Miami Heat, which is going to be an interesting game because Jimmy's returned back to Miami. Andrew Wiggins playing his old team. You know, like it's going to be a nice little vibe. Early game too, 7:30, which is interesting to say the least.
Is Andrew Wiggins going to play that game? Because I know he's been injured recently.
He got about a week to suit up, so we'll see. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. And then Friday, we have a few days rest, and then we play at New Orleans for this little road trip. Not even little. We're gonna be on the road for like 2 weeks almost. We're gonna be on the road from the 22nd up until April 3rd, and we're back. We have a Los Angeles Laker and Phoenix. I said Phoenix. We have a Los Angeles Laker and a Denver Nugget back to back, which is going to be interesting. We're going to be back in the city, but that's going to be
two possibly key games for seeding.
That could be, but right now we're a game and ahead. Shout out to
and then we play Houston a little bit later.
Shout out to Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we do have a tough schedule, like left hanging, because we still have the Clippers to play at the last game of the season. We still have Phoenix,
and we got the Pelicans.
I don't know why I said Phoenix. We still have the Clippers to play. We got Houston, we got Denver, we have LA, we have Memphis. So those are 5 teams to me that have
Oh
been
my goodness.
new, new
That could be huge. That is a huge stretch.
Huge
yeah.
stretch for sure. Yeah.
It's not a stretch. It's like it is a stretch, but they're spread out. Like we play there's a 4-game stretch of Memphis, Los Angeles, Denver, and Houston. That 4-game stretch is gonna be really tough. Um, but outside of that, I see us
Like
like handling every other team. I'm not gonna lie.
oh my god. If we somehow, I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but if we win all of those games, do you know what that's gonna do for us in the standings?
Yeah, that would actually be ridiculous for seeding. I'm not gonna lie. The Lakers already have a
Like
tiebreaker.
the fact that we play all 4 of them is kind of insane. I'm
I
not gonna
mean,
lie.
no, it wouldn't really do much because we have the tiebreaker. We are two. We played the Memphis Grizzlies twice, right? I know we played them and got 50'd when Dennis Schroeder became a Warrior, and I know we played them beforehand and we beat them at the Chase. So I think that's a tiebreaker game against Memphis, so that's important.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, they have the tiebreaker against us. They're 3-0.
We had a tiebreaker versus the Rockets, I'm pretty sure.
We
I
already
mean,
do.
we're less than. I mean, we're only 4.5 games away from Houston right
It's
now.
not far. It's really not that far,
Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm. That's what
4.5?
I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna lie, that's a reach.
Like, there's a realistic chance we
LA
can finish
LA is
top four.
3.5. I think that's more.
Yeah,
Yes.
LA, you can say LA is more like reasonable, but 4.5 is like they're gonna have to like lose a lot.
Houston's been they've been kind of
They won 8 games in a row, didn't they?
they've been kind of up and down. Actually, yeah, they just won even in a row.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 4.5 games is a lot, but what do y'all think
But
of that?
down the stretch, that schedule is going to be a little.
Let's focus on this week's trick. So we got Toronto as our last home game. Then we head to Atlanta. Then we play Miami, and then we have New Orleans as well. So what do y'all think of that little 4-game stretch?
Ooh, man, bro. On paper, those games are winnable, but I'm telling you, that Pelican stuff, man.
Yeah.
Trey Murphy got hurt, so like that helps.
That's what I said in my video today. I was like, the New Orleans game, yeah, you can see their record, but that is going to be
No, that is definitely a trap game
that's
because
probably going to be the toughest game.
Nah, 100%. Actually, no, I think the Heat game might be the toughest game. I'm not gonna lie, because
No.
like the Heat are gonna be motivated that Jimmy is back, and they're probably
Probably
gonna
Terry Rozier. I'm not.
Yeah, but Bam might be on some. Bam just had a random 30 ball. If
Bam's been very, very good lately, man.
yeah, like if Bam is catching stride now, we're gonna see him at the crib. He's gonna see Jimmy again. He's gonna be like, "Oh, fuck you, nigga." Yeah, he might have 40. Wiggins might just be annoyed and put up a quiet 30. Like I feel like Miami just got a lot of emotions tied to it, and like niggas might just hoop like out of body experience. You know what I'm saying? So Miami to me is the toughest game. I know New Orleans been playing well, but we just have to beat them. Like it's one of those games to me where it's like respect your opponent, but you have to get the job done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But for me, the record now I will say is probably going to be. I think we beat Toronto tonight. I think we beat Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't see us losing.
God,
Yeah, I don't see us losing, bro.
God, but then why is this Atlanta game so expensive?
Yeah, I don't see us losing. Like I truly don't see us losing, bro.
I think I had a splitting between Denver and Milwaukee that wound up happening. Are any of these games back to backs or no?
No, it's Thursday today,
No.
Saturday, then Tuesday, and then Friday. We actually have like space in between.
Oh, that's mad doable, man.
Because we ran through like majority of our back to backs. Now it's gonna be more spaced out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Our last back to back, I believe.
Yeah, we only have one. Yeah, we
have
wait,
two.
Two?
Yeah, we have Los Angeles, Denver.
Oh yeah, I see.
And Phoenix, San Antonio as well. But nah, I'm not gonna lie. We have a 3 games of 4 nights left on the back end of the season. That's how they doing us.
Yeah.
Nah, 4 games and like 6 nights is crazy.
It's up.
Nah, the NBA is really trying. We're one of the oldest teams in the league too. I got us going. You know what? I see we beat Toronto tonight. I think we beat Atlanta. I think we beat Miami, and then we lose the trap game versus New Orleans. What do y'all think?
I don't think that's crazy, honestly. I'm asking myself if the Hawks can surprise us as well as another track game we're not really thinking about. But their defense is a little.
I mean, who are you really counting on in that Hawks game though? You're counting on what, George Niang?
A Dyson Daniels LeVert, Trey, and a random just fry. Like, oh my God, Caris LeVert has 26. Like I would not be surprised.
That game is made for George Niang. If he doesn't get off,
Oh man,
then
yeah.
we win.
George Niang was 6 threes in the first quarter. Oh, I can see it already, man. I could see it already, bro. I can see.
I think I was going 3-1.
Who's our loss?
I think we lose to the Hawks. No, I don't like the Hawks defense. I want to say New Orleans, but I really feel like Trey Murphy going down really lowers their ceiling as a team now more. So I'm a little They're mad winnable games. I just feel like one of them we're gonna drop.
That's why I think we lose.
Yeah,
because for some reason the Warriors team is like, if the regular guys aren't on the scouting report, we don't know how to play defense. Like that's what I've been noticing, bro.
Happens all season like that.
What do you think happened with the Nuggets game? We didn't know how to play defense because we didn't know how to guard Aaron Gordon as the primary. Got fried.
And they were just switching every ball screen. We didn't know what to do.
But I think it's funny because I really feel like if Steph didn't play or if everyone played on both teams, I think we actually win that game. But because that didn't happen, we lose.
Yeah, honestly, if Steph wasn't on the floor, their defensive game plan probably goes to shit too. Yeah, but you got 3-1. Denver, what you got, man?
No, I got 4-0, man.
I'm not mad at 4-0, bro.
I got 4-0. If there was a game for us to lose, I would say New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Realistically, I see a.
Although Draymond did play Zion really well the last time
I remember that. Yes.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. If Draymond really locks up Zion again for real, he's the defensive player of the year.
We beat them badly twice, back to back.
Nah, if Draymond does that, Draymond has a few more statement games left. If he plays against Jokic and shuts him down somehow,
no, that will be huge.
And then he goes up against the Lakers and just plays tremendous defense against. If Draymond goes on a run like that to end,
you got a chance. You got a chance for sure.
To me, that's my opinion, defensive player of the year.
And Bam and Şengün.
Bam, yeah. Anyways, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications to be notified when we next upload. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great episode. You know what I mean? Shout out to the guys, man. Shout out to the chat. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, we'll catch y'all boys next week, bro.
We'll be back after that stretch. Peace.